Hello, it's Eric Johnson, Coach EJ, the brand.
And Aaron Thigpen, the source.
Welcome to our podcast today, people. We have kind of like a date-related subject today. What's going on 9 months later after COVID? We're 9 months into this. Where are our athletes? What place should they be in? Where are they going? Have they started? 9 months later, Aaron, where are we in COVID right now with all these athletes and kind of wandering around, what do I do? Or I've been doing it. There's a lot of confusing thoughts out there, and I see a lot of young athletes confused about what they're doing or if they're doing anything, or if they're kind of confused because, look, I've done this for 9 months and we're in the same place. So that's why I think the confusion's there of staying to their goal.
Yeah, it's probably running the gamut. I mean, there's some kids who still probably have done very little during this period.
Right.
And there's those who've kind of gone full steam ahead, and including their training and competing outside of the area.
Mm-hmm.
I see both ends of the spectrum. In terms of what they should be doing is, again, continuing to have a plan that they're going to play, because they will get to play at some point.
Right.
And that might be, 6 months from now, but then put together a 6-month plan. I kind of feel that, hey, this can be an opportunity for the developmental athlete who needs this extra time to work on themselves. Now, they've got to do the work.
Right.
And I think they can make this time period pay off and it not be something negative in their development, but you've got to do the work.
Yeah, Aaron, what I find fascinating is I've talked to a lot of athletes that have gone out and about out of California and played in whether it's Utah, Georgia, Arizona, and they've gone and played in a weekend tournament or they played some games and they came back discouraged because it didn't go the way it was supposed to go, because they've been trained so hard and they were having these results in a very sterile environment, and then when they went out and played, it didn't go as well, But I've also heard some athletes that have said, hey, it was good to be back out there to see what I've been doing, to see what I need to continue to do to get better. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh, you get it. That's good. You went out there and see where your skills are. Did they get better from previously? You went out there, got evaluated again on your own merits, and said, okay, this is what I need to go back to do to improve. And I think that's the right way to go about it. If you're going to go out and play, why not go out there, test what you've been doing, see how it's going, whether it's positive or whether it's a learning process. You come back and you go, okay, it was positive. I got to keep on this track. I got to get better, set my goals a little bit differently. Or if you come back and you go, okay, I struggled a little bit, but I saw some good things, then I just go back and polish this up a little bit.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That way you can make those adjustments. Now, what about the athlete who hasn't had a chance to compete? What are some of the ways that they can kind of figure out where they're at? Because, it isn't a long period of time to just train. For us in track and field, it's a little bit different because we don't run track and field year round. So, you'll have a 4-month season and then, you're going to be off for 8. So you're used to that. But with baseball, because of the frequent opportunities to play year round, I get that doesn't sit well with the baseball athlete. So, what does that athlete do? From a training standpoint, you set up testing benchmarks. You may test your 60 or your 30, or you test your bat speed or whatever you happen to want to quantify. Maybe you start to do that on some kind of structured schedule, so that way you have something to shoot for. You have a little bit of feedback, and that may serve to keep you motivated.
Yeah, Aaron, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking about this. Guys go out and they haven't been doing very much, and they've been training or they just been practicing. I think for those athletes who have not done any game type thing, they should be playing simulated games. You know, it could be done many ways. You can do it within your club ball team or your travel team. Set up some games that way, or go out on your own and have pitchers throw to you and get some fielders, get your buddies and go out there. I think you need to use your imagination to stay in shape. I think I'll tell you this one thing. We had a group of guys who were all COVID athletes, that's what I call them, and they couldn't play. We had a college guy, we had a Division I athlete, we had a professional player, we had about 5 high school guys and about 3 catchers and probably 4 other pitchers. They were just going out playing pickup ball.
Yeah.
And this reminds me a lot when I was a kid growing up, where that's what you did.
Yeah.
Guy had his gear, you went down to the park and played.
Right.
And I see some of this coming back. What I've noticed in this environment with this group of 15 players, they all got better. It was the most interesting thing. One, they would go out there 4 or 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and have challenge BP. They take batting practice, regular batting practice, take fielding practice. Then the pitchers would come, and the pitchers need to get their work. So they go down the bullpen, get warmed up, and then they would play simulated games that way. These guys have been doing this now since probably, May. May at least. And I've seen the growth of these players so much where, like, I know when they're able to go back out there and play, they're going to be successful. Why? Because you have that Division I player who is in the Pac-12, and then you have this other 3 or 4 players who are pitching somewhere else, and you have these other guys who are graduating seniors, and then you have these younger guys who are tag along, the sophomores, the 2022s, the 2023s, and 2021s, get in there and mix it up. And I know it's a growth in players, and I think that's important. 9 months later, you have to create your own games. You have to do these things in order for you to be able to go out there and play. I'll tell you, 6 months from now, Aaron, I believe there is going to be some sort of impasse towards a good thing for these kids to get out and play. They may be under different rules, but you're going to see some sort of action in March and April, I believe, when the second group of high school players start playing. And I think college baseball, and I think Major League Baseball, and what they've done during this period and putting everybody in a bubble in this last week of the season, they're going to see that, hey, this does work.
Well, it sounds like the key is just getting up off your butt, getting off the sidelines, waiting for someone to put something together for you. Organize yourselves. Get on the phone, call your buddies, say, hey, let's go out to this place and let's do something. Right. And waiting in this area, you can't have those organized meetings. No. But you can, I assume, have those impromptu or these unorganized meetings. So why not? You can. You could, basically you have your pod of 12 players. Yeah. And as long as the kids stay in their own group, you're fine. Yeah. Now you can't bring in another 12 players and play them against each other. Right, exactly. But if you stay within your pod, and even if you only have 10 guys, you're going to have a pitcher throw to, you obviously socially distance the guys that are on deck and in the hole, but you can just put 2 outfielders out there and 3 infielders and get one of those adult coaches to play first base, and there you go. There's your game. Kids love it. I don't know why people aren't doing this, but it's another way to get your players activated and ready for 6 months from now. And I think it's a pretty interesting thing that I think a lot of people need to jump into right away, because I'll tell you, it's coming fast. Okay, Aaron, that was a good subject today. We're gonna hit us back up on our Instagram page, Hardball Athletics. Hit us on Facebook, on Twitter. And again, this is Coach EJ, the brand. And Coach Aaron Thigpen, the source.
We'll see you later.